Hey, how we doing out there, folks? Yeah, just record another video here. I'm in corner of the house. My wife's got the good corner of the house. She needed the strong internet. But why am I here today? You know me. I told you I was going to try and get you more videos, and unfortunately, I got one for you today. Um, there is a really, really, really bad heavy metal band. They're new metal, right? So this is one of those bands that their entire style peaked in 2003, and there are legions of mouth-breathing meatheads that still haven't gotten that clue. But yeah, I'm going to talk about their really bad music video for the song "Living the Dream." I don't know. I wouldn't call it. I don't know. It's bad. So I've got some notes here, and I'm going to be honest. Attempting to analyze this crappy video is hard because the people involved with this video. I mean, I looked up the leader of the band, this guy Zoltan Bathory. I mean, he's an idiot. He's. I got some quotes here. He's not that bright. Um, I'm guessing it's your typical Eastern European type. He's from Hungary. Him and his family, they probably fled Hungary or whatever it is. But it's like talking to a white Cuban. It's the same, like stoked up fears about the Soviet Union. I don't have time for any of that stuff. Um, I don't know who thought this video would be good. I mean, it gives insight into the mind of the ignorant because this video is a serious attempt at trying to portray. Well, I guess it's not a serious attempt. It's a tongue-in-cheek attempt at trying to acknowledge the current political system in this, or the current political crisis in this country, about wearing masks, the pandemic, what the responsibility of the individual is to the community, right? That is all lost in this music video, right? And the first funny part, and I think the most laughable part of this video, is that it implies a connection between liberals and communists. So in the video, I'm not going to show you the shitty video. There's a female politician, a blonde woman. Of course, it's a woman, right? Who is, I guess, forcing people to wear masks, or like tricking people into wearing masks, and they get hammer and sickle pins that say compliant, right? In what universe does this band live in, where communists have power in the United States, where Joe Biden isn't trying everything he can to distance himself from the left, where Dianne Feinstein is more vicious to preteens trying to fight for the environment than for Amy Coney Barrett, who's going to screw up the Supreme Court, right? Like, Obama had Wall Street executives in his cabinet, right? Hillary Clinton goes and gives one speech to the donors and one speech to the base. I mean, if you're buying into this narrative that liberals, the Democratic Party, are in any way connected to Antifa, Black Bloc anarchists, anti-capitalism, you need to have your head examined. You are either a fool or a manipulator. And unfortunately, this band comes across as both. There are two types of fascists: fools and manipulators, right? The manipulators are the ones calling the shots, making money, getting their name out there. The fools are the people going along with it. In this instance, this guy Zoltan Bathory, I mean, he's both a fool and a manipulator. And it's embarrassing because I grew up on like, my favorite band of all time is Rage Against the Machine, and I make that obvious. And they're a band that is more relevant in 2020 than they were in 1991 when they came out with their first album. So Rage Against the Machine has done nothing but get better with age. And I recommend that if you want to have fun, check out some Rage Against the Machine reaction videos where you're watching these young people check out Rage videos. And it's cool because it's like hanging out with somebody and watching them listen to a band for the first time. Oh, here, another part of the video. There's soldiers and cops that are getting shot as they stand up for something. We never really know what's being, like, what we're fighting for or against in that video. I just, like, who are the people that have been doing the shooting? Because it's been the police, it's been the soldiers, right? It's weird because there's like this scene where they're getting shot at, where these random people, there's like zombies, there's like some like, they were trying, whoever made this video was not as smart as they think they are. So there's this whole part of the video where there's zombies that are fighting over toilet paper because, people were fighting over toilet paper because of a crisis created by the Republican Party and Donald Trump. So it's weird. It's like, I feel like if the kid in the back of your class had always said, like, racist, sexist stuff because he thought he was being edgy and cool, if he started a rock band, this is the type of music that he would make. I mean, this is the type of video they would make. Like, who is shooting at these police? who is shooting at these soldiers. They never really show that, right? And then they have the liberal politician, the Nancy Pelosi, the blonde Nancy Pelosi, is walking Antifa unleashes, right? Again, I'm sorry, black bloc anarchists. Again, like there's this connection between liberals and between the liberal power elite and anarchists. It means that this guy is, whoever created this video, and I'm assuming it's this idiot Zoltan Bathory, whoever they got to direct this video, like literally must only be fed Fox News all the time, Breitbart all the time, because in the riots, in response to police violence, the police were violent. So, I mean, it just shows a lack of awareness of where this country's at and where we've been for the past couple months during this pandemic, since the George Floyd murder. And I've got, don't worry, old Zoltan gave us his 2 cents on, he gave us his 2 cents on George Floyd too. So that's going to come with that. I mean, like, again, the hammer and sickle pins. Where are these high-ranking members of the Democratic Party that are also communists? I mean, this is straight up 1950s conspiracy theory bullshit. This is the kind of stuff you like. This is like John Birch Society stuff. This is LaRoucheite crap. And they put this in a music video for people to watch and consume, like it's adding to the conversation. This is a failure. I mean, if you're an artist and this is the type of art that you're making, you should be ashamed. This band is just terrible. Yeah, I mean, this is not the shit we need in 2020. The last thing we need is a crappy nu metal band with a bad political take. This isn't 2003, or what was the name of that band? Three Doors Down, that came out in support of Bush, and they ended up just looking like a bunch of shitheads. I mean, conservative rock and roll, Raging with the Machine. I mean, they're just not good. Again, the zombies collecting toilet paper, who then joined the confused police officer, the soldier, and the fat Captain America to fight Nancy Pelosi. I don't know, blonde Nancy Pelosi. It's weird. Who has the institutional power in this universe? I guess it's the Democrats, right? Not the president, not the GOP, not the billionaire corporate donors, not the millions and millions of supporters that go along with it, right? But weird, unnamed, blonde, liberal politician, she's the one that's unleashing the dogs. Okay, right. So again, this is fascist artwork. It has no relationship with the real world. Whoever made it is I'm convinced whoever is behind this video is deliberately trying to sow confusion. I'm a man of color. I've been a metalhead my entire life. And there has always been a stupid, ignorant, white supremacist element in the metal scene. Just knuckle dragging idiots, right? Like the people who listen to Rage Against the Machine and didn't realize Rage Against the Machine was raging against the machine. Just conservative idiots. I mean, there's nothing truthful in the video. It implies this connection between the Democrats and Antifa. It implies this connection between police being victims or being oppressed, soldiers being oppressed, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of imagery. There's a lot that's trying to be said, but nothing's really happening. So it's fascist artwork because it's unintellectual, it's anti-intellectual, it's ahistoric, it's anti-factual. And fascists aren't intellectuals. I talked about this on the last episode of New Jersey Revolution Radios. They don't have history on their side. They don't have truth on their side. So everything is bombast. Everything is hyperbole, whether it's white supremacist groups trying to organize on YouTube, making music videos, whether it's this shitty heavy metal band who's trying hard to be, who's trying to be deep, whether it is, 1990s, Eastern European fascists who would print newspapers and just spread rumors about each other in Kosovo and whatnot, whether it's, the Croats, the Bosnians, and the Serbs. These nationalist organizations would spread lies with each other. I mean, it's literally like reading a fascist newspaper. It's reflecting a world that doesn't exist, and it's trying to impose from above a worldview that doesn't jibe with the real world, right? I tell my students that political science, when you understand political science, when you understand politics, when you hear people talk, you can immediately deconstruct who they are and what they think. Just by the words, the terms, the arguments that they're trying to make, you can deconstruct people. right? So when somebody makes this music video, you can tell that in their head they have no idea what's going on, or I get, or they do, and again they're trying to disrupt. Right? Donald Trump is the president. The Republicans have been in power. Mitch McConnell is the one stymieing any kind of legislation. Mitch McConnell is the one who's not getting the stimulus bills out. Okay, not amorphous Antifa, not people in masks, not the Chinese, not communists. Conservative white Republicans are doing this. They've racialized this country. They've stoked white supremacists, right? Barack Obama became president, and we're going to be paying for that for a long time. This is the price, by the way. Shitty music videos, shitty president, shitty Republican Party, rise in white supremacy, attacks on black churches, attacks on synagogues, attacks on mosques. All that is related to the black president. Because as you can see in this video, when you watch this video, it's very easy to think that all these shadowy groups are working together because there's nothing intellectual behind it. It's just a bunch of images, right? And again, they don't have truth, they don't have history, but they have images. They have these fake stories that aren't real. So, like, it's just a bad video. Yeah, like I said, Trump is president. He has the power. The GOP has power. Their corporate donors have power. Not like, if you think the problem with this country is the wimpy ass Democrats and their inability to resist, and not the Republican Party with their ever emboldened white supremacist and economically, just disastrous economic policies, disastrous social policies, disastrous cultural policies. If you think the problem is this fake imagined connection between liberals and anti-capitalists, then you are the problem. This band is the problem. Five Finger Death Punch is part of the problem. They're not helping anything, right? A bunch of images flashed on a TV screen, telling a story that doesn't exist. It's bad. I mean, so I looked up this Zoltan Bathory guy. So again, he's a Hungarian dude. So again, Crimea River, about the horrors of the Soviet Union and Hungary, whatever. Really quick, we need to talk about this, right? Because it's always the same story when you hear these Cubans or these Venezuelans or these Nicaraguans or these Eastern Europeans who are always complaining about how bad life was under the Soviet Union or under communism, but they'll never talk to you about what life was like before that or what life was like for poor people before that. They never really want to bring that up. It's always this tugging on like heartstring story about how these societies are so bad. Go live in El Salvador, dude. You want to live in Cuba, you want to live in El Salvador. You want to live in Russia before or after vaccines, before education, before or after they were modernized. But it's always the same thing when you come to these. So like I said, we got to talk about New Zealand, headed by a social democrat, and authoritarian China, both doing a better job of handling the virus, right? So while idiots like this band are sitting there talking about, they have masks and compliance and all right, wearing a mask would have stopped this virus. Because the Prime Minister of New Zealand just won her re-election campaign, largely because her handling of the coronavirus. They're having parties in China right now, in Wuhan, where the virus started, because they took it seriously, because people were out here not wearing masks because they wanted to be men. It was never about you. If you think the virus wasn't going to hurt you, it's not about you. It's about everyone else. You have relatives that are sick, the person at the grocery store, right? That's what being in a democracy means. That's what being in a republic means. It means being beholden to other people. It means knowing your place in the entire community. Taking care of myself also means taking care of other people. And all we had to do was wear masks for 2 months when we went out. And the most ignorant people in our society, the stupidest people in our society, as always, the most emboldened, decided that they didn't want to go along with it. And now, how many months is it? April, May, June, July, August, September. Over half a year later, we're still dealing with this. But this is where we're at now. And it's unfortunate. The whole gimmick about the mask, about forcing the masks in the video as some sort of compliance. It's all like China has already returned to normalcy. And that was a month ago. So this video comes out a couple of days ago. So this video, when it's released, is already outdated. It's already just wrong. Countries that took the pandemic seriously are doing better, but because of these meat-headed knuckle draggers who just couldn't wear a mask, out in public. Right? 200,000 people, I'm sorry, 215, well, it's more than 215,000, over 70 9/11s, and I'm going to keep saying that, all because people couldn't wear masks. All because of the Republican Party in power, right? Not Nancy Pelosi. It's not Antifa who's doing this. It's Donald Trump and the Republicans that are in power that looked the other way as Americans were dying. As the virus was making its way to the United States, Donald Trump was saying, oh, it's not a thing. It's a hoax. It'll be gone. Right? But no, let's blame Antifa. Let's blame, a communist Democrat lady. Like, I don't even know what the video is trying to say. It's insight, like I said, into how dumb these people are, into how unintelligent they are. It's I mean, this video doesn't do anything than serve this weird white victimhood narrative. And that is a recipe for conspiracy theories. That is a recipe for white supremacy. That is a recipe for nationalism, right? Because I've seen it a million times. Heartbroken, broke down white dude. He's missing something. So rather than, get to know people, educate himself, learn political science, maybe understand democratic socialism. No, I'm just going to be an angry conservative. Right. So again, I mean, it's ripe for conspiracy. The conspiracy element in this video is that somehow liberals and anti-fascists are working together. Forcing you to wear your mask is slavery. Yeah. Tell me why the left-leaning countries where they wore the masks are doing better than our country that didn't. Tell me that one, Zoltan. Idiot. It's a joke that it's a joke that people take that band or Donald Trump or any of that seriously. I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame. I mean, but this video isn't just bad because of the music or the direction. It's bad because, well, it's bad for those things. It's bad because it reinforces this stereotype about people that listen to heavy metal music. I love heavy metal music. To me, heavy metal is one of like my favorite types of art in general, visual performing arts. I love heavy metal. I've been a metalhead my entire life. And again, these white supremacist elements, these meat-headed, knuckle-dragging elements, all they do is stereotype us, right? I like Deftones. I like Rage Against the Machine, Tom Morello, Zach De La Rocha, like people of color, Max Cavalera, Sepultura from Brazil, right? Heavy metal is worldly and it is inclusive. And when you have these conspiracy theorist idiots making videos, having shows, going on tours, all they do is drag everyone down. And that's what happened. I mean, you're not going to get a bright five-finger death punch fan. I mean, maybe you might. I'm sorry. It might be somebody who listens to the music. Thank God. I mean, there's kids out there who probably listen to the music who don't get the lyrics, but then they watch that video and now they're confused and they have no idea what's going on. I mean, it's just this white victimhood narrative of the white man being oppressed. You're oppressed because you're poor. You're not oppressed because you're white. White people are not being oppressed because they're white in this country. You're being oppressed because you're poor. But that means you should link up with other poor people like me, not Donald Trump, not this shitty metal band. There are ways out of the problems that this country has. And we are just so convinced, or so many people in this country are convinced that they know what's going on. I mean, arrogance and ignorance, I mean, they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of people are. That's what Trump supporters are. That's what five-finger death punch is. Just crappy, man. I just I don't know who they think they're standing up for, what they think, who they think. Like, what are you trying to do with this video? Are you trying to enlighten people? Because you obviously failed. Because nobody's smarter after watching this video. If anything, people are confused. Is it a good song? It's not even really a good song. Lyrically, it's kind of wimpy and cliche. It's very, matter of fact, I mean, lyrically, it's very sloppy. With a band like Rage Against the Machine, you could deconstruct one of their songs and talk about a number of different issues being addressed in that song. With these guys, it's just like this rah rah, get off my back. I'll read the lyrics in a few. I mean, and then the powdered wig scene at the end. How about this? Let's not put on pedestals anybody that wore a wig, right? A powdered wig and had slaves, right? Because the video ends with I don't know, somebody trying to sign the Constitution. Was it the Constitution? I think, and it's like, I think maybe it was a declaration. It was a Declaration of Independence. But anyway, okay, so Antifa bad. The people calling out systemic racism bad. The founding father who raped and sold black people good. Okay. Antifa bad. Slave guy good. Right. I just watched this video on the statues coming down. Like the way people still idolize George Washington and Christopher Columbus. It is childish. Right? It's always like old people. It's a lot of old people who like not educated past the fourth grade, who like all they know about Columbus is Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. It's embarrassing. Or like the Italian Americans that still support Columbus. You are embarrassing yourself because you cannot name any other Italians that have contributed to this country. I live in New Jersey. We have millions of Italians here. There are millions of Italians that we can call upon, that we can be inspired by, as opposed to Christopher Columbus. So I mean, it's a joke. I mean, the powdered wig scene. I guess I'll tell you, watch the video. I'm not going to put a link to it because I'm not going to forward anyone that way. But I guess you got to watch the video, check out the video, and then check this out again. It's bad. It's laughable. But this is why we're in the situation we're in this country. It's a lack of education, and I've said it on every podcast I've been on, every interview I've done. This is all a result of a lack of education. We don't teach civics. We've allowed the Christian right to infect science. We've allowed racist idiots and buffoons into our history lessons, right? Like there's people trying to discuss whether Moses was a founding father. Like, get real. Moses was a Jew who lived thousands of years ago in the Middle East, not a white guy, not a founding father. Like it's as an educator, it's frustrating to me because it's like every year, every semester, you got like Sisyphus, you got to push that rock up the hill because there's a new crop of young people coming in. Not even all young people. There's a new crop of people coming in who have been like just totally brainwashed, and it's unfortunate. I don't know. I mean, shitty band making shitty music accompanied by a shitty video. Oh, and this is the best part in all this. They sell masks. So Five Finger Death Punch right now is selling Five Finger Death Punch masks for the pandemic. So they're grifting you. If you paid money to see this crappy band, or like, they have grifted you. Selling a mask. Like, I don't even like, maybe I'll let that one go. The leader from the band is this guy from Hungary. Like I told you, his name is Zoltan Bathory. I mean, Hungary is literally being led by Viktor Orban, who is a Trump wannabe, probably smarter than Trump. He's a proto-fascist in the vein of Putin. But this idiot in this band wants to point the finger at Antifa and not the shit show in his home country. Not the shit show in his adopted. He doesn't want to blame who's actually causing the problems, the people in power. He wants to blame the people who aren't in power, who are trying to fight against the power, people who are raging against the machine. It's bad. I mean, I don't know. So I found out the lead singer's from Hungary. Like I said, we're dealing with like this white Cuban mentality. Okay. So this was what I wanted to get to here. So this guy Bathory, Zoltan Bathory, is also a founding board member of the organization of the veterans nonprofit Home Deployment Project. Veterans Empowered to Protect African Wildlife. Veterans Empowered. It's an anti-poaching organization operating on the African continent, composed of U.S. combat veterans. Let's take a second to think about what that means. Bathory is also a founding board member of the Veterans Empowered to Protect African Wildlife. Did you get it yet? You know what that means? It means he wants to shoot black people. And it means he's organized an organization to go to Africa and shoot black people. Why can't Africans solve that problem? Why do they need American veterans, mostly white, to go there and enforce law? Right? So this is some creepy, underhanded, like paramilitary thing. It just, the more I find out about this guy, he just looks like a complete asshole. I mean, I think he's a white dude with dreadlocks too, because again, he's in a new metal band and we're still living in 2002. Whatever. I mean, I had a friend come to me and he's a veteran and he's very conservative. He's probably the only conservative friend I have. He told me he wanted to organize something like that. I'm like, what? you have any idea how many white supremacists and racists you're going to get to sign up just so they can go shoot black people? I get an idea. Let's put a bunch of white dudes with guns in the middle of Africa where there's very little law and order, and yeah, that'll help the situation. I mean, it's this guy's a sack of shit, people. Bad music, bad video, bad take. I mean, he's got like, my wife's cracking up in the back. She ain't watching this video. He's going to fetishize shooting black people. I mean, this is an absolute, like, just a scumbag, this guy. This band is trash. I mean, so he fetishizes shooting black people. He's also a total cop worshiping bootlicker. I mean, so the verdict is in. I mean, these guys are fascists. They're bad, crappy band. Their music blows. They aren't bright, and they get off on killing black people. So, I mean, sacks of shit, just racist assholes. I just want nothing to do with them. But I got a quote here. I got a quote here from the mind of Zoltan Bathory. Get ready. It's some flowery, like weaselly, like. One of the reasons I like Rage Against the Machine is their music is heavy, their message is heavy, and when you interview them, they always have something to say. Tom Morello is a Harvard graduate with a degree in political science. Zach De La Rocha is one of the most eloquent speakers and lyricists we've seen in 30 years. When you ask them something, they have an answer, and they can tie that answer into the system. This is Zoltan Bathory, everybody. Not that. This is the opposite of that. You got Tom Morello on one hand, who's an amazing guitarist, and you got Zoltan Bathory, who's a guitar. Look, there's good and there's shit, and I got some shit for you. So here's a quote. Being a longtime supporter of first responders, I got a few messages asking if I still support them after all this. Yes, I support the Constitution. That's not what they asked you. Truth, justice, human rights, and our civil liberties, and I support all those who defend it. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Nothing really wrong there. I support the kind of police who, just like the rest of us, are disgusted by the actions of that piece of shit murderer and his colleagues who are assisting or standing by. Newsflash, asshole, most cops just stand by. Remember Charles Dorner? Remember what happened when he tried to not stand by? Where's Charles Dorner right now, Zoltan? What happened to Charles? Do you even know who? I got $5 that says Zoltan Bathory doesn't even know who Charles Dorner was. But anyway, right? They tarnished the badge, violated the oath, and without a question, they murdered George. No shit, dude. It's happening all over the country. That's why people are mad, because it's not just George Floyd. It happens all the time. And idiots like you are making bad music videos to try and deflect from that point. But he continues. No sane person can watch that video without disgust and absolute fucking rage. Justice needs to be served 1000%, so it's to its full extent for all involved, the absolute maximum and then some. Maybe we should start with wearing masks, Zoltan. What do you think? You think truth and justice, civil liberties, you think that starts maybe with wearing a mask and protecting yourself and protecting other people? Clueless. Stop watching Fox News, guy. It's not helping you. And cut the fucking dreadlocks. You look like an asshole. Idiot. Where was I? I get worked up when I can't deal with this ignorance. And these people have platforms and they have money and like, right? You can go like that guy, Tim Pool, is the biggest lying sack of shit out there. The guy is paid because all he does is lie, and he's got all these followers. But whatever, I got. This is my 4th video. I got almost 100 views. Yeah, I mean, so like he's mad and he supports the good cops, but where are the good cops? Because the good cops aren't coming out saying anything about police brutality, right? They kneeled for Black Lives Matter, and then the next day they were beating up Black Lives Matter activists, and that was around the country, right? We all saw the videos of the cops beating up we saw the video of the cop knocking down the old man. We've all seen videos of cops abusing protesters, assaulting protesters, escalating the situation, standing by as white supremacists walk. The video in Denver, where were the cops when the idiots, the white supremacists had the mace and knives? The cops don't show up until one of them gets shot. Right? The cops are on that side, but Zoltan's not talking about that, right? That goes over old Zoltan's head. Okay. However, here we go. So there's always like there's always the deep part and then the what we got to do. So here we go. Are we ready? Here's some advice from old Zoltan. However, don't let politically motivated goons hijack your emotions, push you where you should not go, and divide this nation further? You mean like white supremacy, policies that increase economic inequality, politicians that stoke fears about LGBT people, Jews, minorities, blacks, Latinos, immigrants, and so on and so forth? He doesn't mean that, though. He doesn't mean that, though. He's not talking, old Zoltan's not talking about that, right? Focus on the guilty and focus on the problem and the solution to the problem. Beating up innocents, I mean, that's not really happening. Robbing their stores, I mean, that's looting. I mean, and when you realize how much damage that shitty Walmart was doing in that community anyway, who gives a crap, right? I don't care about looting. I don't care about looting when people are dying. I don't care about looting when cops are killing people. I don't care about looting when Flint doesn't have clean drinking water. I don't care about looting when we're destabilizing a country like Venezuela. I don't care about looting. Property is not more important than life. And this is a big tell for conservatives who care more about property than they do about human life. And that's what old Zoltan is, right? Zoltan is a goof and a sellout, right? Because Zoltan thinks he's so deep, right? But here we go. We're not done. Beating up innocents, robbing their stores, setting communities on fire have nothing to do with... How do we know that that's not police? Because we know police go undercover. We know police work with white supremacist groups. We've seen them, interact with them. We've seen them treat them with kid show. How do we know that these aren't cops? Because we have caught cops on camera trying to incite violence. How do you know that, Zoltan? You don't. Here we go. Setting communities on fire, nothing to do with justice, and certainly isn't done in the honor of George Floyd. What does Zoltan from Hungary know about being a person of color in America? Shut up, Zoltan. Idiot. Don't join the senseless, violent mob. Black Lives Matter protesters basically, black people said, our lives matter. White people's response was total meltdown. Black people say, hey, we matter. What? You hate what? What are you talking about? Right? But that shows you like how entrenched white supremacist philosophy and talking points are in this society. Because white supremacy isn't just genocide and the final solution. It's jokes. It's passing laws. It's de facto racism, right? It's spreading misinformation about political issues tangentially related to the Black Lives Matter protest. But Zoltan's not looking at that. Zoltan's not smart enough to look at that. Man, dude, snort some more coke there, Zoltan. And they're not here for you. Okay. Don't join the senseless violent mob. They're not helping. They're not here for you. Who are these people? Like, how many like black bloc anarchists, totally devoted, like accelerationist destruction do you think there are? As opposed to organized militant fundamentalist churches, Second Amendment organizations that have proliferated around this country. We need to be looking here. Zoltan, the fascists, and all the idiots want you looking over here. It's a joke. It's a joke. Oh, here we go. Where were we? Here we go. Yeah, we're wrapping it up. And to some blue check marks and media jackasses who are instigating and fanning the flame, may you rot in hell. Now there's blood on your hands too. What are you talking about, dude? Can you name a name? What blue check marks? The news media? You mean reporting on police brutality, reporting on systemic racism? What are you talking about? What media personalities, what celebrities, what blue check marks are out there calling for violence? Who is it, Zoltan? Stupid. I mean, he's not saying anything about police brutality or that most of the cops just stand by. Like I said, $5 says this idiot has no idea who Charles Dorner was. But yeah, I mean, the media. It's always the media. We can never say who. It's always the media stoking fears. It's not that these problems are real and people are going to report on them and there's going to be backlash to it. It's always the media stoking fears because everything is just okay. Zoltan can kiss my ass. Zoltan needs to go have a glass of water in Flint, Michigan. Zoltan, paint your hair brown for a day. Cut the fucking dreadlocks and paint yourself dark for a day and then go see what it's like for a person of color in some parts of this country. Clown. Your bad music. Yeah. The evil media types, they're the ones causing the problems, not the racist cops, the legions of ignorant voters, the racist president, the racist Republican Party, the do-nothing Democrats, or stupid rock musicians like you, Zoltan. Again, they never name names. It's always like the media, right? It's like watch watch conservatives. Like, I hate Bill Maher, but Bill Maher did this excellent video on this attempt by conservatives to portray liberals as atheists. Find me an atheist Democratic politician in the United States. Find me how many prominent atheist Democrats are there? None, zero, zip. I don't think Zoltan knows that. Idiot. I mean, so again, Zoltan's a stupid fascist. Someone wants your opinion and you give them this oatmeal bullshit. Again, like Tom Morello, this guy is not. Zach De La Roca, this guy is not. Like I said, I'm so over the whole white guy is frustrated and becomes more conservative trope. It's been done. All that route leads to is hate, white supremacy, and conspiracy theory. Zoltan is a shitty politician. He's he's just a conspiracy theorist making bad fascist music. I mean, he doesn't have history on his side. He doesn't have truth. He doesn't have the real world on his side. So he's got these images that are meant to shock and awe. He's got loud music, which is meant to disorient and to inspire. There's a lot of flag waving. There's a lot of imagery there meant to inspire. But to inspire to what? What does that video push you to do? Hate Antifa, the people who are calling into question the economics that caused all this? Black Lives Matter, the people calling into question the racism that people deal with every day? All that's going over old Zoltan's head. So yeah, I mean, what's the goal? To support the politicians that got us into this mess? To support the Republicans? I don't know. Let's look at some of these lyrics. Here we go. Captain America, are you off to fight the bad guys? Hey, mighty Superman, can you save us from ourselves? Hey, Mr. Universe, can you lift us up above this? Is he trying to say Atlas? Because I'm just Iron Man. I'm a ghost within a shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shitty references in one paragraph. Way to go. Take a look around, just look around. Actually, check out the song Take a Look Around by Sick of It All. That's a good song, and that's a good video. The video is mediocre, but the song is really good. And lyrically, it's 10 times better than this. Take a Look Around, Sick of It All. Check that song out. They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Oh boy, here we go. Why did they never mention what's real and in between? Like what, Zoltan? It seems the path we're on was paved with blood and sorrow. Yeah? Yeah? Slavery? Mexican-American War, Native American genocide. What do you think, Zoltan? Or did you just get here yesterday? Goof. No thought about tomorrow. Yeah, that's called capitalism, dude. And the search for more profits. And short-term gain in place of long-term gain. Destroying lives and families. Is any of this ringing a bell, Zoltan? We're all living the dream. We're all living the dream. Well, maybe you are, Mr. Rockstar. Hey there, Your Majesty. Is there anyone above you? It must be lonely when you're up there looking down. Antifa, are they the ones up high looking down? Black and LGBT activists getting beaten up on streets. Are they the ones up high, Zoltan? Idiot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be one of these happy YouTubers. I'm just going to be me, folks. And if that means 30 views or under 30 views a video, that's how it's going to be. I mean, and that's the whole song. And then it just repeats. We're all living the dream. They say it's just this lyrically empty, visually empty, intellectually empty. 5-finger death punch, living the dream. We're out. Stinker. You could do better. So I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I just wanted to get that off my chest. I actually wanted to come out with this video last night. Like, share, subscribe. You can find me on Twitter at Perez Podcast, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, Modernity and Absurdity. Email perezpodcast@gmail.com. Facebook, YouTube, Modernity and Absurdity. You can find us. I'm probably going to upload this as a podcast also. We're about 40 minutes now. So hit me up, folks. Take care. Black Lives Matter. Black Heroes Matter. 5-finger death punch. You suck.